Hey, what's going on, guys? It's the Beep King here. It's update time in Town of Salem. So, we just got the Halloween update. It hasn't come out yet. It's not like fully, I believe right now they're under maintenance. They're not under maintenance. Good to know. They're under maintenance on my PC, I believe, right now. I might have to refresh the page, but I'm going to be going over what the update is. What is it? This is the Mafia Buff update. Mafia got changed, and I think it's going to be cool. I haven't read the patch notes yet. I just tried to play, and it didn't work. So I'm going to read the patch notes here, because I can make a video on it and do a reaction to it. Big brain moment. So, let's just go with this. Let me just read this beginning bit. Hey, Townies. Today we're releasing Town of Salem 3.3.0 with a squirming heaping of scary new features, improvements, and bugs fixes. This will help you celebrate with All Hallows Eve, Halloween-themed cosmetics, and to the shopping cauldron. Loaded up your goodie bags by making both the Ambusher and Hypnotist roles available to play in classic games. Ooh, wait, what? That's going to change up the meta. They have to bring something else. Is that going to be like in ranked and ranked practice? Or is that only going to be in like all any? I'll have to read that. Oh, and here's a fistful of Mafia Buffs. Yes! Including changes to Disguiser, Forger, and Framer. Get in. I'm so happy about this. We've also brought back player statistics and leaderboards on top of that. Yes! The witch whispered in our ear that ranked season 4... Wait, math. 6 is ending soon. No, that's 4. I don't know Roman numerals, boys. Rank Season 4 is ending soon, and Rank Season 5 is being lined up for the near future. Thank God. I joined the ranked seasoning like a year late, so I'm still a silver. I joined it like a year late, I think, or either a year or 2 late. I started playing Town of Salem 2 years ago, my 9th grade year. I'm in 11th grade. And, yeah, ranked season has kind of... I didn't play ranked because the ranked season had already been drawn out for way too long, and I've been waiting for 2 years to get for ranked season 5 to come out. Just so I can clean slate it with everyone else and just have it. I don't really think we have to talk much about the new features. Added new player statistics on the leaderboard and the Halloween-themed login background art and music for the holidays. That's about it. Let's get into the nitty-gritty, the improvements, the 3 roles we need improving, along with some more game stuff and everything. Okay. Disguiser has a long buff. Cool. I like it. I feel like Disguiser and Forger were the 2 weakest Mafia roles in the whole entire Mafia. Framer wasn't that bad. Framer seems to be having a little bit of a buff here. But okay. Disguiser has been updated to not only allow changing their investigator results, but to also allow them to change the investigator results of their Mafia allies. Wait a second. They can change Mafia results now? No. The game no longer shows the disguised role on the player's death, but now instead changes lookout results to show the Mafia visits as being a visit from another player being disguised as. So you've rendered Lookout useless? Almost? I mean, not useless. Lookout's still super powerful TI here, but that means Mafia results aren't 100% legit. I mean, not Mafia. It's saying it on the bottom. I'm skimming through. Lookout results are no longer 100% trustworthy right here. But if you didn't understand what I was just barely saying, example. The Disguiser disguises player A as player B. Player A visits player C. The Lookout watches player C. The Lookout sees player B, not the Disguiser who is player A. I think, right? If I'm basing that off right. The Disguiser disguises player A as player B. So when A visited C, they actually saw B visiting C. That's pretty cool. So say someone, so the disguiser is like probably like more like a witch now, saying you put them to them kind of deal, or like a CL, a transporter, anything that uses two roles, and you see them go back and forth, right? So if they put it on one person and they put it on another person, a lookout looks at one person while the other person that they saw, it changes up results, making the lookout got a nerf here as well. Not 100% trustworthy. A disguiser can use a jailer with someone else and just misconstrue results now. It's going to change up the game. The disguiser being able to visit Mafia members also means that the spy seeing Mafia visits doesn't automatically confirm someone is non-Mafia anymore, since the spy will see the disguiser visiting their Mafia teammates. So you just ended 2TI almost. Spies aren't 100% legit anymore. I mean, spies are always suspicious because blackmailers exist. Any Mafia member can fake a spy will in Classic. In Coven, it's a little bit different. But in Classic, you can frame it easily. It's not that hard. Spy wills are really simple. But this makes spy even less. This literally just makes spies a little, not harder to confirm. They're still difficult to confirm. But this makes it so the not seeing Mafia is so much better. So now you can say, oh yeah, these certain people haven't been visited by Mafia. But that means nothing anymore. You can say, oh yeah, hash brown, table saw, chair, and guitar haven't been visited by Mafia. Those are your 4 Mafia. It could be a disguiser game, bro. Mafia could have been visited themselves. That, in my brain, is so just sick, cool, amazing. I want more of it. That's so good. That literally just makes it more simple for Mafia to have a win. Forger. The ability to have false information displayed in the graveyard has now been removed from the disguiser. Correct. But the Forger has now gained that ability? What? Excuse? Uh-huh. Nah. Like, I didn't read any of the patches. I haven't read anything on this. This is 100% new to me. I have not read anything. Nothing, like, early from BMG, nothing. This is, like, first time I'm seeing this stuff. So this is so sick. Now when you forge a player, you are able to select the role you would like the player to show up as in the graveyard. Oh, that's huge! This should help players more easily make believable wills. We believe that misinformation is more powerful than removing information, which Forger normally did. They never made misinformation. They always forged it. They always forged and made it disappear. So this ability has its available number of uses capped at 2. So Forger can only use 2 forges now instead of 3 forges, but his forges are more likely to be correct. Correct in quotations there. They're more accurate to what you should be doing as Forger. I think what BMG planned for Forger when they made the Forger role was they wanted you to scope out a role and misinform the townies. And you had 3 uses and it was all fine and dandy. But in hindsight, and what reality happens is you forge someone, you leave it as a blank will, and you get rid of their whole entire information. And they quote here, where is it? We believe that misinformation is more powerful than removing information. They wanted it like this, based on that. So now they're only capping it out at 2 because it's so much more simpler to do it. So they're only capping it out at 2, which I think is fine because you can. I mean, it's obvious if you like. You'd have to do it on claimless people who have not claimed. But So say there was a silent medium who hadn't talked, who hadn't said anything. You killed them that night. You made him look like an investigator when there's already an investigator dead. Any TI claiming in that, if you're playing ranked or ranked practice, are now claiming random town. And they have nothing to say on that. If they have a legit invest wheel, maybe, that's sick. You can also trick town into lynching more if you put a jester as dead in the chat. Like, if you put jester as dead, there you go. You make like a fake, you can just make up shit in a will now. You just make up like a fake invest as in your jester. Boom. Now people are more lynch happy and won't be scared of a jester. Or you can make NK the scene be dead and arsonists is just sitting there doing their thing kind of deal. That's a little bit more riskier of a play, but I think that's really powerful. I feel like Forager might be one of my favorite playstyles now. I love doing that type of stuff, like tricking the town. Tricking town is so much fun. I feel like Forager was probably the weakest. Forager and Disguiser were 100% the weakest Mafia. I felt like Forager was a lot more weaker because you just erased wills. You didn't tomfoolery people. Disguiser could tomfoolery people. They could just trick people to no extent. I feel like those two roles are going to become one of my favorite Mafias to play. I could be wrong, but I feel like those roles are so much fun. Misinforming town instead of removing information from town sounds a whole lot better. I think BMG made a right decision here in doing this. But Framer, let me talk about the Framer. Frames will now last until an investigative role targets the framed player, not just the night the player is framed. Ooh, that's power. That's some power right there. That's really powerful. So now you can frame someone. Now, the question would be: would that last even if you die? If you die, would it be until an investigative role goes? Because that would help in a 1v1 situation. 1v2 situation even. You had a sheriff, a godfather, and say an investigator. The framer framed that investigator that night, or that framer. No, you couldn't do that to the investigator. But say the framer framed that investigator. That sheriff thinks that's suspicious now. They already checked the godfather. That's not suspicious. It has to be them. You win. If that lasts till death, that would help in like a 1v2 situation. If it lasts past death, that would make it even more powerful. If it lasted till death. It's a minor change to Framer, but it changes the pacing of the game. It's not based on random RNG luck to get someone framed. It's boom, boop, boop. I can frame 4 people. An investigator could have checked the one I checked first. Now, and boom, I'm chilling. It's cool. Game. The Ambusher and Hypnotist roles have escaped the Coven expansion and are now available to play in any mode whose role list supports them, including Ranked. Yes! Oh, that's so cool. This is my favorite change. I was talking about those other changes. This is my favorite change. Because we haven't played with Ambusher and Hypnotist in a legitimate role list with random towns, TI, and all that jazz since Coven came out. I wasn't around when Coven came out, obviously. I've only been playing for 2 years. But by the time I started playing, people only played All Any in Coven when I actually bought Coven. When I decided to buy Coven, all we played was Chaos modes. You could get into the one classic here and there, and again, still not a patented role because there's no Hypnotist or Ambusher in classic, in ranked practice, in ranked when it's Coven, which means you could only get it in Mafia Returns. Who the hell is playing Mafia Returns in 2020? Who's gonna get that? Some YouTuber who actually has a following to them. iReptar, 2% Skim, if he comes back. He could. I'm not saying he's going to. But Holly the Mayor, Pipetron, any of them, they could probably get 15 people into a Mafia Returns game. But there's no way you're going to play solo and get 14 people in a Mafia Returns game. So now this lets people experience Ambusher and Hypnotist in a role list that's not all any. That's powerful. You've only been able to experience Ambusher and Hypnotist in all any. That's it. That's how it's been for so long. Now we actually get to see how powerful Ambusher and Hypnotist are when faced against an actual, like, full-on, fledged, like, meant to be their town with 3 random towns, 2 TIs, a TK, and a TS. That's sick. That's super sick. It changes also play styles. Plus, it changes how you play in ranked. It helps. Transition. I feel like this is my favorite change of the whole entire game. Not even the buffs. The Forger buff and Disguiser buff are very close seconds, but I feel like this changes up ranked practice and ranked so much that, not to an over-exaggerated extent, not crazily, but it changes some play styles. It changes how you have to play sometimes. And it changes it in just a good way. It just makes the game a little bit more fun, and it makes it so people who maybe don't know how, don't know how. I think most people should know how to pay for things. That haven't been able to pay for a Coven expansion, they can now, and they've been playing for, say, 2 or 3 years, they just haven't paid for Coven, they can now experience 2 new roles, and it makes the game just that little bit more fun for them. It's pretty cool. Transition. New please wait overlays at various points in the game to prevent user interaction when certain transitions are occurring, such as leaving. Okay, so this is changing loading screens. It's just changing how the loading screen works. Cosmetics, they've added new Halloween theme pets and house. Taunts, a new bat theme taunt, that's cool. And the Celebrate taunt firework animation has been improved to be more visible in the game. That's cool. I mean, I've really only ever seen the Celebrate taunt a couple times. Not many people use Celebrate taunt. If you're going to see people using taunt, it's either Tombstone, the Frog, the Witch turning into Bewitched, I think it's called, and the dog, the one with Doge taking a piss. I don't know their names because I don't use taunts all that much. Login. The feedback provides the players when they attempt to set a password that doesn't face the minimum requirements and has been improved and clarified. Okay. Home. For our mobile platforms, we've added labels to the navigation icons for clarity. Okay. Lobby. The custom lobby role summary for Lookout has been updated to include the reference about a limit of spotting 3 people. Cool. Cool. That's nice. That's nice. Lobby. Custom lobby role summary for Jester has been updated to anticipate abstaining voters are also susceptible. Oh, okay. So this is just saying that what it's saying is that the Jester can kill you if you abstain. Game. The role card will no longer hide the role description after text. Instead, the role card will be tinted red and display a tombstone image behind the text to indicate death. This is especially helpful for roles that still have abilities after death, such as medium. That's super cool. That's really cool. So instead of it just being medium with a rip, it now has exactly what you do in red. So say you're a classic player and you're rereading your role. Wait, I have a seance? Wait, I could do this? Wait, I can go talk to someone alive right now? And so a seance isn't wasted. Very cool. I like that. The Trapper's Trap Set icon will now display on the player where the trap has been set instead of the trapper themselves. So this makes it easier to know who the trap's on. That's cool. That's pretty nice. For our non-mobile platforms, the game will now zoom in on executions that occur after a guilty verdict has been rendered. So I'm guessing they're just going to like zoom in on the death. Like the hanging, the fire, them being death by fire, being zapped, being pixelated, being drowned in a pool. What else is there? Getting squashed by a rock. Blasting off into space. You're gonna like see a close-up of that, I guess. Added dazzle animation over center stage when moving to last words phase and to reduce jarring transitions of gallows disappearing. So instead of when you... Okay, I understand what this means. When you, normally when you guilty someone and they're completely guiltied, it would do like a black screen and then it would go to them being hung. It's going to do like a dazzling animation instead of the what they call the transition of gallows disappearing. Instead of the black screen, you're going to get like a sparkly screen. Due to the Disguiser buff, 2 of Disguiser's achievements have been updated. Does that mean I have to go do them again? Because I already have them. Slippery Chameleon is now awarded when you disguise the same person 3 times in a single game. Yep. Okay. Master of Deceit is now awarded the first time you deceive the town with a disguise, as is considered a shadow achievement. So you won't know you've earned it until the end of the game. Okay. So pretty much it's saying... Okay, so all it's saying is that you're not going to see you have the achievement until you have it, until you play out the rest of the game. If you previously earned these awards in their own incarnation, you will retain them. Cool. I get to keep them. Thank you. I didn't want to do them again. And in the last game, Pestilence role name in various places has been given a greenish outline color. So it has a greenish outline. So they took over the Town of Salem wiki's idea because they had Pestilence with a green background. I should continue reading before I say my thoughts. I'm just like saying it, and then as soon as I have a thought, I say it. I should just let it go. A greenish outline color to make the black lettering stand out better from the graveyard. So it's going to have like a green outline to it instead of it being black. The Town of Salem wiki is exactly like that as well. They have the green. Burger menu. For our mobile platforms, we've added scroll bars to various sub-menu screens which previously displayed content that fell outside the screen space and could not be scrolled to. Okay. I'm not going to really care much about the bug fixes. How many are there? There's a lot, actually. I'm not going to go over much of them, but I'll go over some, I guess. No, I'd go over them all. We'll go over it all. Fixed an issue where the help tool tip on the update password pop-up into your pop-up. That's just if you're updating passwords. For our mobile platforms, fixed a crash related to the Unity ads. The play solo button can no longer be quickly and repeatedly clicked, resulting in a server disconnection. I never had that problem. Game tip regarding SK visiting escort now mentions the serial killer's new cautious ability. Okay, that's cool. Cautious button will no longer activate for interaction at night if the serial killer is dead. Oh, you could go cautious when you were dead? I didn't even realize. The player on trial will now properly show their initial execution idle animation when the last words phrase starts instead of waiting until the execution begins. Wait a second. So is it going to be like if you're being hung, it's going to like show them walking or something? Wait. Player on trial will now properly show their initial execution idle animation when last word phrase starts instead of waiting until the execution begins. So is it just going to instantly go, or is it going to like show like an animation quickly and then he's going to do it? I don't know what that means. I don't understand that. When a player leaves the game during the voting phase, any votes that were made on them can now be undone by simply voting for another player. Cool. The Van Helsing Vampire Hunter skin hanging animation will now be properly appeared. I remember seeing some of those animations. That was weird. He's just gone. It was just like he was just like messed up. It was weird. I don't understand it. I couldn't really rephrase it to you, but I remember seeing it a couple times. The gallows image will now properly appear on the Little Big World and Under the Sea maps during hanging animation. There's something wrong with some maps, I guess. Janitors can now read a bloody will. Bloody from a serial killer having killed them before. Oh, that wasn't in the game before. That's cool. That's super cool. Say you somehow randomly get the SK, you just SK kills an escort or a jailer, you clean them, you can now read their role. You can now find out who SK is if they have it on there, which is cool. When transporting a revealed mayor, the second target button are no longer improperly labeled reveal. Didn't know that was a thing. That's funny. Just going around, oh, I can reveal all their roles. No, that's funny. The cancel seance button for medium will no longer improperly change back to seance when night transition starts. Okay. The Robot Santa on trial scaling has been fixed. I don't run that skin a lot, but okay. Fixed Antonin pixel death animation repeating. Okay. I'm guessing that means pixelated. Fixed positioning for Uriel, Crimson Reaper, and Alablaster Reaper skin on trial position. I don't own any of those, so I don't know what they mean about that. Fixed an issue on Lycanthrope skin pixel death animation. Oh, okay then. Is that the pixelated? I don't know what death animation you're talking about. I guess, sure. Player name in header messages will now always properly appear in white font. In header message. So I'm guessing that means on the top, when it's like, Beef King, you are being accused against the town. What's your defense? It will say it in white, and it'll always be in white. Supposedly it wasn't always in white. For our mobile platforms, the click sound that played when the targeting tabs were programmatically switched, such as when switching from day to night phases, has been silenced. Didn't hear those when I played mobile. To be fair, in the last little bit, I played way more PC than I did mobile. To be fair. For our non-mobile platforms, pressing tab, page up or page down keys in Last Will, Death Note, notes, or pasting will no longer produce weird spacing issues. I don't remember having that issue. I don't remember like ever pressing tab or up key or down key. I mean, I don't press up key or down key, but when I pressed tab, it definitely didn't do anything. I sometimes press tab. I don't press it all that much, but I definitely pressed it. Oh, okay then. For non-mobile platforms, pasting tabs into a chat field no longer produces wide stretches of white space in the chat message. No clue what that means either. For our non-mobile platforms, fix the size of the hypnotist menu. Okay. Those were the bugs and changes of the 3.30 update, also known as the Mafia Buff. Kind of got boring at the end because I really don't care about the bug fixes, but I kind of just said them all just in case you didn't know they were there. I think the janitor one was... I'm happy I read them just because the janitor one existed. Being able to see the bloody will of a janitor, of a SK that as a janitor. I think that one was cool. But the main thing we're here was the role changes. The 3 role changes that's going to pretty much eliminate the lookouts being 100% accurate once confirmed, and spies, and the Mafia. No, these people didn't visit Mafia. Weren't visited by Mafia. Has to be Mafia. Not the case anymore with Disguiser. Forger now being able to partake in actually making fake wills instead of removing them entirely. And Framer having limited frames. That's cool. All really good things by BMG here. definitely makes Mafia wins probably going to be a little bit better. The only issue I see with this is Mafia might be a little bit powerful now. I feel like if you have a Forger Disguiser, it's going to be pretty good. Like, I don't know what would work well with Forger. Like, a Forger Consort type of deal might work. Maybe. Disguiser will work with anything. Disguiser now just straight up is good. Disguiser's going to be one of my favorites. Disguiser's just good. But, and this game change right here. The Ambusher and Hypnotist roles have escaped the Coven expansion. That is super sick. Those 4 things are so good in this game. The rest of them, I honestly don't care about. The Halloween cosmetics, to be fair, I'll take those. I love cosmetics. But the rest of it, it doesn't really require much to me. Where is it? The roll card will no longer hide the roll description after death. That one's cool. I like that. That's pretty neat. But the bug fixes, I honestly don't. I'm not fretting over them. But this is the Halloween update we're having. Oh, hello, Adam. Ooh, they have some. Let's go look at the new skins quickly. Let's go look at them. No, let's go look at them quickly, because I can get in the game right now. What's here? What is here? Anything good? Anything new and special while we're here quickly? I'm just going on so many tangents. Supposedly not. Sad. Let me just look through here then. Ooh, that's a cool pet. They have a new hat. Yeah, that's a hat right there. They have a new house. I don't know if this is new, but it looks cool. Under the Sea is not new. Ooh, that's the new taunt. Let me go buy some of these, actually. Quickly, I just buy a good old 15 of them. I should have enough for 15. Yep. And you have the Winter Wonder. Okay, nothing special. Some cool new skins, though. The Atom skin looks sick. I like this bat. I'm not going to buy them. I don't got enough town points for that, but... Or the Trick or Treat. These all look sick, though. But this has been the whole entire changes in Town of Salem. If you guys enjoyed, smash the like button. Subscribe if you guys are brand new. Yeah. Peace.